welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and I'll take you through the top 50 stories of the day. Let's begin. Cyclone Biparjoy made landfall near Gogh port in the Indian state of Gujarat on Thursday evening. At least 2 people have died and 23 are injured. The cyclone caused widespread rains, storm surges and damage across Gujarat's western coastline. The cyclone is now heading towards the Indian state of Rajasthan. Russia has announced bonus payments for troops who have destroyed Western tanks being used by Ukraine. These include the German-made Leopard tanks and US-supplied armored vehicles. The move is part of a wider reward scheme. More than 10,000 Russian servicemen have received individual bonuses since the start of the conflict. Russia has once again told the United Nations Security Council that it wants an international investigation into the explosions at the Nord Stream gas pipeline. The pipeline that was used to transport natural gas from Russia to Germany was rocked by explosions in September last year. Russia has repeatedly accused the West of masterminding the explosions. On the other hand, Western governments and Ukraine have denied any involvement. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency has said that there is enough water available at Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant at the moment. The statement comes after last week's devastating breach in the Kakhovka Dam on the Dnipro River. The nuclear plant uses a cooling pond to keep its 6 reactors from potentially disastrously overheating. Before the Kakhovka Dam was breached, its reservoir was used to refill the cooling pond. According to the CIA, several US federal government agencies have been hit in a global cyber attack by Russian hackers. The CIA has also said that several hundred other companies and organizations in the US could also be affected by the hacking spree. A sprawling hacking campaign reportedly began 2 weeks ago. It has also hit major US universities and state governments. The US state of Texas has signed into law a controversial bill banning transgender athletes from competing on some college sports teams. The Save Women's Sports Act requires athletes to play on the team that corresponds with their gender at birth. The new law also allows civil lawsuits against colleges and universities over suspected violations. South Korea's military has released still photos of rocket parts used in North Korea's failed satellite launch. North Korea failed to launch its first military satellite on May 31st. The satellite's booster and payload plunged into the sea. South Korea has been conducting operations to salvage the parts off the country's west coast ever since. 9 Egyptian nationals have been arrested in connection to a deadly migrant shipwreck off the coast of Greece. Reports suggest up to 750 people were packed on the fishing boat when it capsized and sank on Wednesday morning. The death toll of the accident stands at 79 and is expected to rise. Local media reported that the ship departed from Egypt and stopped at the Libyan port of Tobruk before setting off for Italy. Pope Francis was discharged from a hospital on Friday morning. He underwent surgery to repair an abdominal hernia and was hospitalized for 9 days. 86-year-old Pope Francis left Rome's Gemelli Hospital in a wheelchair. He waved at reporters and well-wishers as he was taken to a waiting car. Japanese lawmakers have adopted a legislation to raise the country's age of sexual consent to 16 from the current 13. The bill cleared the Japanese parliament's upper house in a unanimous vote. The legislation also clarifies rape prosecution requirements and criminalizes voyeurism. Japan's age of consent had been unchanged since 1907, with children aged 13 and above deemed capable of consent. Pakistan's government has shared the social media profiles of ex-Prime Minister Imran Khan and several leaders from his party with the country's Federal Investigation Agency. The profiles have been shared to conduct a forensic test for allegedly sharing controversial anti-state content between March 8th and May 9th. A total of 23 links from Instagram, Facebook have been sent to Pakistan's FIA. The United Nations has said that it's appalled and deeply shocked at the killing of Sudan's West Darfur governor. The Sudanese armed forces have blamed the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group for this crime. They're accusing the RSF of kidnapping and killing the governor on Wednesday. The RSF has denied any involvement. Dozens of Chinese migrants held a rally in Sydney to demand the Australian government fast-track their permanent residency status. The rally was organised after Australia placed their controversial Golden Visa program on hold. Australia introduced the Business Innovation and Investment Program in 2012. It aimed to attract wealthy business owners, investors, and entrepreneurs. Mexico is in the grips of a heat wave. This is the third heat wave of the year for the country. Temperatures in some northern regions of Mexico have peaked to over 45 degrees Celsius. This heat wave is expected to last for 15 days. Local authorities in Mexico say that the El Niño climate phenomenon could be the reason behind recent mass bird deaths. Around 300 wild birds were found dead along Mexico's Pacific coast. Bird flu was initially suspected as the cause. However, authorities later confirmed that the reason is likely the warmer ocean waters resulting from El Niño. Latin America has been experiencing extreme weather ranging from sweltering heat to freezing snow. While Mexico has been caught in a late spring heat wave, snow and ice damaged crops in Bolivia's largest agricultural region of Santa Cruz. Temperatures in Bolivia's Tarija region dropped below 0 degrees Celsius. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called out fossil fuel companies for hindering climate progress. He said that the world must phase out fossil fuels in a just and equitable way. Guterres added that fossil fuel companies must cease and desist measures that aim to kneecap the UN's climate goals. Climate activists tried to deface one of legendary artist Claude Monet's paintings. This was at Sweden's Stockholm National Museum on Thursday. Climate activists of the Restore Wetlands movement put red handprints on a screen protecting Monet's painting. The activists then highlighted the need to ban peat mining and restore the wetlands. The painting on loan from the Orsay Museum in Paris is unharmed. The activists were arrested. A tornado in Perrytown in the U.S. state of Texas has left wide-scale destruction in its wake. The tornado tore apart trailer homes and uprooted telephone lines and electricity poles. Traffic in the area came to a standstill due to the damage. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has warned of more frequent extreme weather in the country. Trudeau said they're going to focus on getting through this year's wildfire season. Canada is seeking to boost its readiness to tackle wildfires. The country is facing its most destructive start to the wildfire season ever. Over 48,000 square kilometers have already been destroyed in wildfires. In business, Germany's central bank expects the country's economy to shrink this year. The Bundesbank now sees the German economy contracting by 0.3%. This is a slight improvement from its earlier forecast of a 0.5% decline. Meanwhile, inflation in the region is expected to be around 6%. This is much higher than the ECB's 2% target. Telecom giant Vodafone says it has reached an agreement with unions in Italy. This is regarding 1,000 job cuts that it announced in March this year. Under the new deal, Vodafone seeks to contain the impact of the redundancies. Among other things, it'll offer career coaching services to employees interested in launching their own business. According to reports, American software firm Oracle has laid off hundreds of employees. It has also cancelled existing job offers and cut back open positions. These are within its health unit, Cerner. In December last year, Oracle acquired Cerner for nearly $29 billion. This was the technology company's biggest deal ever. The US unit of cryptocurrency exchange Binance has laid off some employees as well. Reports say around 50 people have been dismissed. Positions in the legal, compliance and risk departments have been impacted due to the cuts. This comes shortly after the US sued Binance last week. The company has been charged for carrying out illegal business practices. The US Federal Reserve and its market regulator are investigating Goldman Sachs. This is regarding its role in two deals with Silicon Valley Bank. They are investigating Goldman for improper business processes related to the deals. This was before Silicon Valley Bank collapsed earlier this year. Mercedes has said that some of its US workers can now use ChatGPT in their cars. The automaker will begin testing the program from June 16th. Mercedes says integrating ChatGPT into its car's audio systems would make its answers sound more natural. Ride-hailing firm Uber has said that it will shut its food delivery business in Italy. The company will also cease its taxi operations in Israel. This is because the company has failed to sustainably grow in the regions. In Italy, Uber Eats falls behind market players like Deliveroo and Just Eat. Meanwhile, Get Taxi and Yango are ahead of Uber in the Israeli cab services market. Scientists from the Italian Institute of Technology are developing a new humanoid robot. It'll be designed for efficient locomotion. The robot will be able to do all the heavy and dangerous jobs of manual workers. Scientists hope this could become a work companion in the future. Google's parent company Alphabet has issued warnings to its employees about how they use AI chatbots. This includes the in-house chatbot Bard. The company is advising its employees to not enter confidential material into AI tools. This is despite Google marketing its program around the world. Audiences were amazed by an AI version of the celebrated Dutch artist Vincent van Gogh. Artificial intelligence allowed people to speak to the painter. This was during a tech show in Paris. The AI Van Gogh and robotic exoskeletons were some of the highlights of the tech show. Moving to sports, in cricket, Rohit Sharma is likely to be rested for part of the upcoming Test series against West Indies. Sharma will be taking a break owing to his drop in form. Helmed by Sharma, India faced a crushing defeat against Australia in the World Test Championship final. India's tour of West Indies is slated to start from July 12th this year. Former Indian batter Ambati Rayudu heads to the US to play the Major League Cricket tournament. Rayudu had announced his retirement from Indian cricket before the IPL 2023 final. He'll be representing the Texas Super Kings franchise in the inaugural edition of the Major League Cricket. The tournament will feature 6 teams and starts from July 14th. In football, Lionel Messi has scored the fastest goal of his international career against Australia in Beijing. In a friendly match, Messi recorded the goal in just 79 seconds. World champions Argentina beat Australia 2-0. Messi was the center of attraction at Beijing as fans rejoiced in the moment. Spain beat Italy 2-1 in the UEFA Nations League semi-final. Spain's Yeremy Pino smashed a goal in the second minute. Italy's Ciro Immobile scored an equalizer in the 11th minute. After a gripping first half, Spain's Mato Joselu scored an 88th minute winner. Spain will now face Croatia in the finals of the UEFA Nations League on the 19th of this month. Italian League champions Napoli have named Rudi Garcia as their new coach. However, the length of Garcia's contract has not been specified. Garcia had earlier managed Serie A club AS Roma from 2013 to 2016. He's also coached the Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr last season and led them to second place in the Saudi Pro League. In tennis, world number 3 Daniil Medvedev exited the S. Hertogenbosch. The S. Hertogenbosch, also known as Den Bosch, is a Dutch tennis tournament. Medvedev lost 4-6, 6-4, 6-2 to Frenchman Adrien Manarino. Manarino had previously won the Dutch tournament in 2019. In squash, India's Joshna Chinnappa beat Japan's Satome Watanabe. Chinnappa has paved her way to the semi-finals. India is hosting this year's Squash World Cup. India will be reaching the semi-finals of the tournament for the first time. In badminton, India's HS Pranoy and Kidambi Srikanth qualified for the quarterfinals of the Indonesia Open. The Indonesia Open is being held in the capital Jakarta. However, Indian star and double Olympic medalist PV Sindhu has been eliminated from the tournament. Moving to Formula One, Lewis Hamilton believes that Max Verstappen can surpass his record. Verstappen has 63 race wins. He is 63 race wins behind Hamilton. Hamilton holds a record of securing 103 race wins. Currently, Verstappen leads the World Championship with 5 wins this year already. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele shared the early lead after a historic opening day at the 123rd US Open. This is in golf. This is the first tournament after the shock merger of the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. Rory McIlroy, the face of the PGA Tour's war against LIV Golf, also performed well. In entertainment, rapper Snoop Dogg has deferred his Songwriters Hall of Fame induction until 2024. The rapper cited personal reasons for the decision. Snoop Dogg is the second of 7 songwriters to back out from being inducted in the class of 2023. Snoop Dogg now intends to be inducted with the class of 2024 on the 13th of June next year. Rapper Kid Cudi has revealed the lineup for his Moon Man's Landing Festival. The second edition of the event will feature performances by rappers Lil Uzi Vert and Koi Leray. The Moon Man's Landing Festival will take place on the 19th of August in Cleveland in the US. Singer Niall Horan's third studio album titled The Show has debuted at the #1 spot on Australian charts. His last 2 albums had peaked at the runners-up position on the ARIA Albums chart. To support the album, Horan will begin The Show Live On tour in Australia between April and May next year. The honorees for the 2023 Black Music Month class have been announced. Rappers Queen Latifah, Lil Wayne and Busta Rhymes are among the inductees this year. They'll be part of the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame. The artists will be given the crown jewel of excellence at the ceremony. The schedule for the 2024 People's Choice Awards has been announced. The event will take place on the 18th of February in California. This will be the first time that the show will air in the first quarter of the year since 2017. This will also be the first time that the telecast will stream live on the app Peacock. Actor Al Pacino has welcomed a baby boy with his girlfriend Noor Al-Falah. His son is named Roman Pacino. 83-year-old Al Pacino has become a father for the fourth time. He already has 3 children with former partners. Jennifer Lawrence has returned to acting with the comedy film called No Hard Feelings. Lawrence had taken a break from acting between 2019 and 2021. She then devoted her time to her son, who was born in 2022. No Hard Feelings will release on the 23rd of June. The animated superhero film Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has been banned in the UAE. This is due to the country's censorship regulations. It's been reported that a scene involving a transgender flag that reads "Protect Trans Kids" is the reason behind the ban. Marvel Studios' superhero film The Incredible Hulk is coming to streaming platform Disney+. The film will be available from the 16th of June. The Incredible Hulk, originally released in 2008, it stars Edward Norton, Liv Tyler, and Tim Roth. British royals Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have ended their contract with Spotify. As a result, Markle's podcast Archetypes will not be returning for a second season. The royal couple had signed a $20 million deal with the music streaming app in 2020. The two are now looking for a new home and partnerships for their content. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.